Hey everyone, it's Warriors NRL Fanatics here. I hope you're all doing well. This is going to be my pre-season challenge review for the One New Zealand Warriors clash against the Melbourne Storm, which was played at FMG Stadium in Waikato, Hamilton, New Zealand on Saturday afternoon. And going into this one, this was our last pre-season hit out before we take the field in Vegas for round one against the Raiders. As for the Storm, this was their first pre-season hit out of the year. Now, obviously the Storm weren't expecting them to name their established players, and that's what they did. They named a lot of the younger players in this side. I think we saw Nathaniel Roach actually line up for the Storm as well, which is good to see Nathaniel on the field. Look, we got to see Stefano Utukamanu as well. You know, it was his first game in Melbourne jersey, and besides that, we didn't get to see a lot of established Melbourne Storm players, which is what you'd expect with the Storm. You know, every year it's the way they go about it with the first trial game of the season. As for the Warriors, man, look, a couple of changes there. We've got to see Roger back into the side and named on the wing. His first game on the wing for us. We also got to see Jackson Ford come into the team as well. And there was no Fisher Harris, no Jacob Laban, and no Chance Nicholstad because they were playing for the Māori All-Stars in the All-Stars match against the Indigenous All-Stars. So, yeah, look, other than that, the Warriors didn't have a lot of changes to the side coming into this. But, you know, going into this game, I think what I really wanted to see was a bit of improvement on that Sharks game. And we didn't play badly against the Sharks, but there were also, some, mistakes and, execution attack wasn't quite there as well. And, defending wasn't perfect. But, look, we were taking on the Melbourne Storm side, which was their seaside in general. So, look, we've got to play what's in front of us, and we did. So, we got off to a great start there. Tried to tame to a picky. Luke Metcalf and Chanel Harris-Tavita in the halves because Tamari Martin was shifted to fullback in a bit of late team shuffle there. So, that was interesting, I wasn't too sure how that was going to go. I really did want to see Luke Metcalf in the halves with Tamari Martin. I wanted to see Tamari Martin get another crack in the halves to, prove a point after, being quiet against the Sharks. But that wasn't the case. Webby changed it up, so we saw something different with Harris-Tavita coming on and playing the halves throughout the whole first half. And I think Harris-Tavita actually had a very good, solid game. I believe he played particularly well. And I think him and Luke Metcalf definitely combined, throughout this game extremely well, in my opinion. And look, is Chanel going to start in round one? I don't think so. I don't see it happening. I think they'll go back to Tamari Mudd in the halves against the Raiders for that clash in Vegas. But I would love to see it happen, but I don't think it will. But look, I was pretty happy with the way he went about it. Metcalf was, as he was in that first trial, very, very dangerous in attack, very threatening, very challenging the Melbourne Storm defensive line. In particular, was main part of that try to tame to a Peaky going over in that corner to score first. And, look, our outside backs obviously having a field day with Tane scoring a double, Roger on the wing there scoring a double as well. It was pretty much, the Warriors attack really clicking. And it was great to see it. It was great because, we wanted to see a bit of a vast improvement on what was against the Sharks. And we definitely showed it. It was like, because Tamari was fullback, it was like having three halves on the field, and that's what it felt like. So, also, I do feel like, Leah Towers really cemented his spot. He's guaranteed a spot in the centres for the round 1 clash against the Raiders, and I think for the rest of the season, I think that's what's going to happen. He brings that X factor. He's a strong centre, and it's someone that we need. And he really showed that with the tries that he scored, especially that second try where he palmed off the one of the Storm players to score that try in particular. So I think Leotau's actually going to go very well this season, and hopefully he's, fingers crossed, he stays fully fit and injury free this year. Also, Wade Egan. Wade Egan was a constant threat out of dummy half. Really, threatening Melbourne's, really weak defence. Melbourne Storm not gonna lie, their defence was exposed a lot during this game. Their defence was absolutely woeful, but the Warriors, really exposed it. So, look, Egan was constantly a danger as well in that role in terms of attacking side, and also a player that I thought stood out in terms of the forwards was Aaron Clark. Now, Aaron Clark, a lot of talks whether Aaron Clark's going to be the 13 or is he going to come off the bench, and I think Aaron Clark really answered those calls, and I think he's definitely going to be starting in that 13 spot for the Raiders clash in Vegas as a whole for me. But yeah, look, I got to say, looking at our bench, Leka Haliasima as well, young Leka, first game for the year for the Warriors in the preseason because he missed the first trial against the Sharks. Again, another young player that really stood out. Last week it was Laban, and this week it was Haliasima. And Haliasima really was, a really good showing from him, in particular off that bench. And we know that, his future is going to be real bright, and he's got so much potential. Very young player, and I think he's, really put his hand up as well for a potential selection. Also we got Marata Niokora. I thought was particularly strong as well. I thought he had a good performance, and I think that's pretty much it. Like I've named who I think has got really stood out. We also in the second half saw the lots of the likes of Hansen and Cleary, who will be our New South Wales Cup, you'd expect to be the halves for them this season. So, look, it was good to see some of the younger ones come on and play a bit of minutes as well, albeit we know they're going to be unlikely to make the 17. But yeah, look, positives I think for me was just the way, in terms of our game, I was happy with the way we played throughout this trial game. The second half was a little bit flat, but look, obviously that's what you expect when you make a ton of changes in the second half. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of the trial game. I was very happy overall with the terms of the performance in terms of our attacking side. Hard to really say in terms of defence, because really Melbourne scored 2 tries off kicks in that second half. And that's the only way they got their points. But in saying that, also the Storm weren't at full strength going into this, and that was their seaside. So, look, I'm not going to read too much into this trial game at all. I'm not going to read too much into the Sharks trial, but there were some good signs, promising signs, positive signs. But yeah, look, all things are looking good for, the season ahead. And look, I think it's going to be really interesting to see how this team goes in the 2025 season as a whole. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. Who was your standout player? Who impressed you the most? And yeah, let me know who your 1-17 side is to take on the Raiders. Put it in the YouTube comment section below. I want to see what team lineup you're going with. I want to see who you're selecting, and yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see what Webby does with this lineup for round 1. I'm pretty sure he's got a clear picture of who he's going to pick, but make sure you don't forget to like this video, click the thumbs up button on this video, And yeah, it shows all your support for the content, and it's much appreciated as well. It helps push the content out to more people. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are a new viewer or returning viewer to the channel and you haven't done so. It really does mean a lot, and it's much appreciated, and it's absolutely free as well. And we are on the road to 3K subscribers. But thanks for watching, everyone. Up the Wars, go the Warriors, and we will see you guys all for another video or a live stream real soon. Cheers.